The US and France, the external interests that are responsible for the problems.
Okay, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're already here, do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to be part of this awesome family. Don't forget to also put us on notification, right? Beautiful family. The president of Ghana was at Chatham House and he was asked some couple of questions, and some of the question has to do with security in West Africa. The host asked a particular question. You can see that these international, hosts and people, they know what exactly is going on the continent of Africa. So they always put the whole conversation in, question form to throw at our leaders. And after the president answered the host, there is a reporter in the middle of the crowd who also asked a particular question. And the reporter asked the question in a way that you know that, yeah, this is a black man asking a direct question with a lot of information in the question. And the president answered, and in the answer, the president made it clear that there are a lot of interest from the other side fueling the insecurity that all the banter we are dealing with in West Africa. Listen first before we move forward, right?
Is it your view that countries outside the region are helping fuel that terrorism?
Yes, I believe that the solution is multinational. It goes beyond just the region. There are many countries with an interest in what is happening there. One, the collapse of Libya contributed, Gaddafi in Libya contributed to what is happening there, because it became a conduit route into the Sahel, especially when a lot of terrorist groups were eliminated in the Middle East, in Syria and other places. They found safe haven coming through Libya into the Sahel. Now what happened was the Tuaregs in Mali had a grievance about marginalization, and they had started asking for an autonomous region that they call Azawad. And so that discussion had been going on and the tensions existed. Now what has happened is these other groups, Al-Qaeda groups and all of them, ISIS, have come and exploited the legitimate grievances of the Tuaregs, and that has been the point of entry. But we cannot have peace in the Sahel without involving Algeria. We cannot have peace in the Sahel without involving Mauritania. And so I think that it must be a larger discussion than just ECOWAS.
That is the first answer he gave. Before you go to the next reporter, did the president answer the question perfectly for you? Let me know in the comment section, by the way. To me, when the president said we need to involve Algeria, we need to involve Mauritania, the only question I want to ask is that, is the president aware of the allegations and then the things that the Sahel leaders are pulling out in terms of Algeria, Mauritania, and the route, as he said, the conduit, the places where these T group are coming from and all that? Is he aware of all these things? If he's aware of all these things, then the day they will meet Mauritania and try to involve them, they should be told the truth to their faces. But anyway, move to the next reporter. Listen.
A nice way. The job you are doing in Ghana, so far, so very good. There's a lot to thank you for. That is a fact. But Mr. President, what I want to say is, we in West Africa alone, we are sitting on trillions of pure raw wealth. And so one would have thought that when it's either peacetime or trouble times, we'll have heads of states meeting in, let's say, Abuja, in Cotonou, Accra, Yamoussoukro, elsewhere, to formulate ways and means to raise hundreds of billions for development for, let's say, 5-10 years. Instead, we have each head of states always trekking, going outside wherever to find help and, solicit help here and there. Mr. President, there isn't a single, since I was born, a single problems that has arisen in Africa that either ECOWAS or the AU has been able to solve. You and I remember very well talking about xenophobia. I call it black on black hatred.
Forgive me, sir. Just if you could get to the question.
Sir. I'll come to the place. What I want to say is, we Ghanaians drove out Nigerians. Nigerians drove out Ghanaians. ECOWAS or AU couldn't solve. My question to you, Mr. President, can we say that the Africa contest or the Africa concept, that Africa project is dead?
Okay, I'll start with the Africa project. I don't believe the Africa project is dead. I still believe in continental integration. I believe that we can do more to cooperate with each other, and indeed that is the way to go, because I don't believe that any one country can in isolation become an island of prosperity on the continent. We need to work together. If you take regional integration, I mean, Nigeria is the largest economy in West Africa, and I think the second largest in Africa. And so these are regional powerhouses that can help drive prosperity in the whole of the continent. South Africa is the biggest economy, and I believe that if these countries are working properly and the other countries are cooperating, we'll have regional growth pools where we can pull each other up by our bootstraps. And so, yes, we must think regionally, but we must also act locally. And I gave you the conditions that would make a change in our countries. One, democracy, respect for human rights, better governance, better economic governance. I think that those are things that we should begin to take seriously. There must be a new crop of African leaders who are selfless, who are working for their people, who are more accountable and trustworthy. The days where African leaders, I mean, just took power for the sake of having power and for the privilege of being leaders has passed. There must be a new crop of African leader that is prepared to work and sacrifice for their people. The African project is not dead. I believe that we must continue to work at it. Yes, we do have problems, but not all the problems are caused by African interests. In many cases, they are external interests that are responsible for the problems that we're confronting. I mean, look at what happened in Libya. US and France interfered and took Gaddafi out, and look at the mess that was left behind. Today, look at Sudan. There are all kinds of interests in Sudan that make it difficult to resolve the issue in Sudan. And so, yes, there's external interference, but we mustn't give up on Africa.
That was fantastic. Huh? I love the fact that the president at the end of the speech was specific, mentioning United States and France in the conversation. I also love the fact that the president brought out the issue of Nigeria, where he said Nigeria economy is very big and it's kind of like a powerhouse that, we can work together and make some progress on the continent of Africa. But I would love to remind the president that Nigeria is going. Yes, Nigeria is going. But let's hang that aside. If we know that there are external interests which is driving all this problem we are having right here, then what is the point in partnering with the external partners again to solve the problem? What is the point? To collaborate with the people who are the problem to solve the problem. Now, when you mention Libya, for example, we are partnering with France. We are partnering with the United States in counterterrorism, right? So how about these people going to Libya and look, the mess you people have created there, fix it. If you are able to fix that mess, then we can have partnership. How about that? Because it is true that through Libya, we are having spillover. It has become a safe route where this whole thing is coming from. The fall of Gaddafi has resulted into a whole lot of conflict up and down here about. So the people who caused the problem there, they cannot come here and tell us that they want to collaborate with us to solve the problem, our problem here. Last time they solved a problem, we saw what happened. So if there's anything at all, why can't we tell them Go and fix that problem. Then it tells us that you have the capacity to fix the problem, because you can't leave that problem unsolved and you are coming here to solve. You need to go up to solve one before you move to one. You have not done fixing that one. You are here to fix this one. Look at Sudan. Honestly speaking, there's a whole lot of interest in Sudan, which is the reason why Sudan refused to get up, because we can't even solve the problem. We can't even have a dialogue in Sudan. It is impossible to hold a dialogue in Sudan because the interest is coming from so many places. They prefer Sudan to be like that so that everybody can benefit. It is just about benefit. Look at Nigeria. Some villages reported helicopters coming to offload some things to the T group, and then they use those things to bite them back. In Nigeria, you don't know who controls the airspace of Nigeria. These things are going on. Look at how many children have been kidnapped in Nigeria recently. Teachers, unalive, a whole lot of things. People have been kidnapped, schools being closed down, communities are living in fear, insecurity is rising. The government is campaigning for the next election, trying to secure the next election. That's all. The government is trying to secure the next election, and the people are also agitating that we are going to vote them out. If your vote is going to speak, I mean, Nigerians, I don't know. Look like you don't know the country you are in. Last time your vote did not speak. Are you aware of that? You know, your vote did not speak. And this time also, what shows that your vote is going to speak for you? To shock you, wake up and then, oh, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is your president. Nothing you are going to do about it. You will protest, you hit the street, they will come after you. Hey. And then within some few days, that matter will die. This particular video is recorded in June. I'm making this comment in June. Yes. So when it happens, I will refer to it. That is what is going to happen. Chairman will win, and then you will say, hey, we don't go agree. You hit the street, some of you will be hit down, blah, blah. Oh, matter die. Everybody go home, and then a new trend will come on board, and then collapse. Everybody follow it, and then we are gone. If we can leave external partners and focus on our regional bodies, we can solve this problem, because it is our problem. Nobody will come from anywhere to come and solve it. Anybody that comes from elsewhere to come and solve the problem with you is coming to exploit it and get their interest out of it.